till the day I die. They say they want to hear the truth and let them speak then. That wisdom be gained from adversity, sleepless. Long nights defeating the odds, deep shit. Jimmy Butler gave fire, it's a must win. Situation presented, I must win. His likeness and image, I created the earth wind.
Why should the child have to pursue the father?
Right.
You know, because that's the whole thing about the daddy issues. The child is always going to be willing, but that rejection, when the child tries to pursue and the father rejects them, you know how detrimental that could be?
Yeah.
So it's like the child, if the father wasn't there from the get-go, when it comes time to where the child know who his father is, know where he at, got his phone number, it's still going to be a hard situation, because it's like, if I do all this and I press him and still get rejected, and that rejection don't have to be like all the way rejected. It's because you ain't even been here like this. It could be just the smallest rejection, where you put that wife or you put them other children before them, instead of including them all as equal. Or you make a promise to spend time with them, but then it gets canceled. Oh, but because I got to do something with my other children. Well, why can't I just come along with my other brothers and sisters? Why you do that with them? Shit, we can all spend time together. But that ain't the way it is. That ain't the situation. You over here being ran by whatever woman you with. And she determines if you can spend time with your other children. We talk about love. What woman who keeps you, or female, because I ain't going to say woman, a woman ain't going to do that, but what female actually loves you, who keeps you from your original children before her? That female no longer has love attached to her at that point. But that same female is telling your daddy that she loves him every day. You love me, but you can't accept my children outside of you. This is the type of game that motherfuckers don't know is being played with love. And love is constantly, like, people ain't coming through. People ain't coming through when they say, I love you, over and over and over and over. And it ain't just even about regular people. Like, we talk about parents ain't coming through on saying they love you.
You know, because that's the one thing about Christianity.
Even within Christianity, they'll use the scripture to turn the parents against the children. You know, using the husband. Your husband is the head of the household. What he says goes. Not if he ain't right spiritually, not if what he says is wrong. Not if he's manipulating. There should never come a point as a parent that you forced to choose between your child and who you dealing with. Especially as a mother, you push this motherfucker out. It should never happen. And at any point, that other partner makes that an ultimatum where it's either me or your child. Like, yo, the partner gotta go, not your child. But then you turn around and be like, oh, I love you though. I do love you. No, you're supposed to love me. And in some mothers' cases with them, because they're the physical manifestation of love, it's like, no, you used to love me.
Right.
You know, Because one thing we got to stop doing is attaching love to physical shit. Especially as parents. Just because you put clothes on my back, just because you put food on the table, that's not love. That's your responsibility. You know, like shit. He busted the nut. You pushed me out. You know, he could have easily put a rubber on or pulled out. You could have easily squatted down some stairs and had a miscarriage. But you know what y'all did? He busted a nut with no rubber and you pushed me out. And you nurtured me and you kept me here. You taught me to walk. You taught me to talk. Of course you got to feed me. Of course you got to put clothes on my back. That doesn't mean you love me. It's how do you raise me? What do you teach me? Do you truly support me? Do you know my gifts and talents? Do you know where I'm smart at, where I'm intelligent at? Do you pay attention to your children and try to help them capitalize off what they may be gifted in? Are you putting your children in a situation to be successful based off what you learned as a parent concerning this world and you being in it and what may have been stripped from you? Does that make you recognize your gifts and talents and understand, like, okay, when I was growing up, certain shit wasn't available like this, but it's available while they're growing up. But 9 times out of 10, your parents, like, fuck what you got access to. I'm gonna raise you how I was raised. Because that's what they know. It's how they were raised. If their parents didn't look at them as value, how can they look at their own children as value? And the thing is, it ain't that those parents aren't trying to look at you. A lot of it's they're forced. They're forced out the household. So it's like, but what, you can't do nothing with that time while that parent is at work and nowhere to be found when the child going through certain things that they're going through and they need that parent. In those moments, it'd be like, well, yeah, I gotta work, but you know what? You're choosing work over your, you know what? You're really neglecting your child.
Right, excuse me, bro.
And don't even know you're neglecting your child because you live in a system that got you doing this work, taking you out your child life. Because they're destroying aspects of the family to where now mama has to work. And then the way they doing the father got him sitting at home. And with me, that's why I had to apologize to my children, because it's like, I got health issues. But yet it's still, to them, they don't understand that. All they see is like, damn, daddy don't be going to work. Like, yeah, when y'all was younger, I would go to work. But when y'all got into these double digits, it was like, yeah, daddy body done went left. So you ain't see me at the most important time of your age working. And that's not cool with me, but then I ain't really had no choice because of my health. But you have a setup in this world where outside of health, the way they took away certain jobs that work with the hands, you know, putting the male in certain positions to where your children see you in the house on the video game. Why is the video game so significant? Because you use your hands. What was the male job before the video game? Farming. What you do with farming majority of the time? Using your hands. Carpentry, building. What you doing with that? Using your hands. These factory jobs that had all that shit, using your hands. You take away that. Things that make big money. You can't farm if you have no land, so we take away the land. And we put the video game. Handwork, video game, bunch of handwork. But what you doing? Sitting there at the crib all day on the video game. Don't even know systematically, you know, because of your makeup, naturally, they manipulated it. Taking you out the workforce to be able to support yourself and your family and got you on the video game. That doesn't generate no money unless you know how to make that motherfucker.
Right.
Ain't no love being taught through the video game.
Right about that shit.
And then they got a whole bunch of other shit. Neuroweaponry, MK Ultra brainwashing that they threw the video game. One of the reasons we got all these bad drivers now is Grand Theft Auto.
Boy.
Look at the driving test. These jits being taught how to drive through Grand Theft Auto.
Fast and Furious movies.
Who has a 10 movie series?
I'm telling you, God damn.
And then they killed the main character after 2. You know why they killed him? Because Paul Walker was about to expose the sex trafficking scandal. Paul Walker couldn't take it no more. Paul Walker couldn't stomach it no more. And the crazy thing about Paul Walker is he was beige. Tyrese wasn't trying to say shit. You in the same movie, Tyrese. You weren't trying to say shit. You were kind of trying to play both sides. Then they yanked your daughter and then put you in that red dress overseas. And then now you on here talk about Diddy and the children. Well, we should pray for the children. What? Them children evil. It ain't their fault. But they are. Pray for the children. It's like, nah. It's like when they try to say that Kim Porter memoir was fake. And it's like, you know, I can understand. Like how deep you want to go down this hole of fake, though. Because Kim Porter dead. This, so to speak, memoir come out when she dead. So it could be fake if you just talk about, okay, well, did Kim Porter really write this shit? Well, I mean, I don't know. As far as whether she wrote it or not.